Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and tonight I'm joined by Eric.
Alice Horton. Oh.
We are continuing our 1983 Bo and Hope coverage and a few more characters because now we're watching actual episodes. So I'll roll the
Yeah,
credits. We'll get right into it. So clearly you enjoyed seeing Alice Horton because that's your
oh.
name tonight.
I did. I love Alice Horton and Tom. It's nice to see them. I never seen Tom, so besides the flashback episodes and whatever, it's
um,
nice.
Roman's very angry.
Yeah.
He's very I guess because he's very frustrated that these women are being murdered one by one, and they're people that he knows.
Well, and he just went through another murder storyline, so it's really getting to him. He's just like, fuck, like, just got all this murder. Got to worry about everybody. He's got to worry about his wife. Carrie's around. Well, I'm sorry, not his wife. Oh wait, Marlena, Anna, his ex-wife,
Carrie.
um, and Carrie. Yeah,
Um,
a lot to worry about.
Apparently
Very
now the
short-sighted.
killer is communicating through the computer at the police station.
This is so like copycat, like the movie. I don't know if you saw that movie, but like, like they can. Or there was another movie too, like where they go through the computer and they say they're gonna kill and stuff. Um, Reminded me of that. I'm like, wow, this is 1983. I wonder if it's like the same writer as these movies.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's something you could do. I don't really know how 80s computers worked. Like, I didn't know if there was like an instant message system that they could do that with.
They were a lot easier to hack back then. I know that because everything was new. So
We saw a lot of Abe, but not a lot of the lady cop that's dirty, that's like double dealing.
yeah, she was shown in the clips, right? Or was she shown in an episode yet?
I don't think so.
We saw her in the clips, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Um, Anna is like trying to get her things of hers from this hooker that knew another hooker that was murdered.
I didn't really think it was like her things. I just thought it was like maybe something that was incriminating to her,
Okay,
and that's why she needed to get it back. But I honestly, like, I don't know what's happening, so
right.
I'm just guessing because we're very early on in these episodes.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of jumping into where it's at, and I really don't know what's going on.
Oh, so you remember when I was like, I don't know what restaurant they're at. I think it's the New Shenanigans, but I wasn't sure. It's the
Right.
Salem Inn because they said it in this.
Ah, the
So the
Salem
restaurant that
Inn.
they're always
Okay.
eating at that they keep showing is the Salem Inn.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they still have the Salem Inn. People live there
Yeah.
currently. That's fun.
They must have stopped showing the inside of Salem Inn because when I started watching the show, I feel like I heard Salem Inn and I thought it was like a sleazy motel on the side of the road. And then like they brought it back into play when they had Horton Town Square and they put it in Horton Town Square and now everybody lives at the Salem Inn.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm like, not many people live in hotels, but I guess they do in Salem.
The whole town of Salem does.
Can't afford anything else with the Salem Inn.
I actually really liked in the A Very Salem Christmas, or Days, was it Salem Christmas or Days of Our Lives Christmas?
It
The
was
Christmas
probably
one.
the Salem Christmas.
That John was like running the Salem Inn, John and Kristen.
I didn't watch that.
You didn't?
I know. I knew you'd be shocked. I'm shocked at myself and very upset for myself.
It's been years. How have you
I
not seen
didn't.
it?
I don't know. I guess because it was like, wasn't it? It was just kind of like a standalone, like almost
Uh-huh.
dream sequency type thing.
Uh-huh.
So I never just like rushed into it. Clearly, it's been 2 years, I think.
Yeah, it was like Will trying to write a new script, movie script or book.
Right. And
And
then
so him and Sunny were just like, what if we did this? And then it was just like they went into the movie or whatever.
I know I really gotta watch it. I'm disappointed in myself. I even watched Eileen Davidson's new movie. Did you watch that on Netflix?
No. It's on Netflix?
It was, yeah, it was cute. It was cute, but it's like any other kind of Christmas movie. But it was her, Annika Nicole from Bold and the Beautiful is in it, and so is Josh Swickard from General Hospital.
Oh.
Yeah, it's cute.
Hmm.
It was a winery movie too, and I love wineries. So go on.
um. So yeah, like I said, Roman's really mad. He wants Marlena to have a bodyguard, and he wants her to lock all the doors. Marlena's at first I didn't know if it was like Roman's birthday or if it was their anniversary, but she wants to throw a party for him. I still am unclear on what that party was about.
The dinner party that was like 5 minutes long.
Right. Bo comes over and I couldn't tell if she said I just love him so much, meaning Roman, or if she was just saying to Bo, I just love you so much. And she like start crying and he like is like, I know, and he like hugs her.
I think he meant I think she meant Roman
I think she meant Roman too, but I
because
if
that was cute,
yeah.
and I love Bo and Marlena's relationship. It's cute.
Mhm.
They're already like brother and sister, kind of.
Right. I guess Kayla's gone because we haven't seen her, and I don't remember like her past this until Mary Beth Evans takes over the role. So bye, girl.
Yeah, and you think she would have been there because of it was them having dinner with the Brady's. So yeah, I guess she
That's
moved
actually what
on.
made me think of it because Frank Parker is playing Uncle Sean. You know, I call
Right.
him Uncle Sean. At
And I
Grandpa
saw
Sean, whatever.
I saw a different Carolyn
I was gonna say it was a different Carolyn.
because I was like, is that her? Like Peggy McKay? I can't tell. And I kept trying to look, but I did see it was not her.
Right.
But Peggy McKay, or she looks similar though. I mean, they did a good cast job, I
I
guess.
did have to look because I was like, wait. I was like, before I say anything, let me just make sure that it's not Peggy, and it wasn't.
Just
Because I know
cover
like she was
yourself.
there and then she wasn't, and then she came back, and then she kind of stayed.
I I think Peggy McKay starts in '85, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay, I
So
thought
I
she
mean,
had already been on, left, and she came back in
maybe
'85.
maybe I thought I just remember '85 for some reason, but maybe I'm thinking John Aniston because I knew he was '85.
Maybe they
Um,
casted her for the whole Victor story in '85.
maybe. I can't wait to see in a couple of years.
There is a different Sean also at some point. So maybe I'm
Huh.
thinking about maybe he was here and then he left and then he came back, and I'm confusing that
And
with
then she
Caroline.
comes, and then
Yeah.
everybody switches.
I guess they were
It's
so
exhausting.
like peripheral that it didn't matter if they just kept recasting them.
Right.
Kind of like Beth Logan on Classic Bold. How there was like three Beth Logans in the first year.
Yeah, yeah. And then she hasn't even been on. I think they wrote her off with the dad, Steven, right?
Oh well, she'll be back as Marla Adams.
Eventually.
Yeah.
When I start that back up again.
um, what else happened? Oh, so the party was really short lived because the last 2 minutes of the episode is just like Marlena and Roman in bed together, being all romantic,
Yeah.
and him stressing. And it almost felt like that was supposed to be the episode where it's supposed to look how in love they are and how protective he is of her, setting up
Yeah.
for what's about to happen in the next episode.
Yeah.
And maybe also showing us his temper
Hmm.
for what's about to happen in the next episode.
True, true. Yeah,
Um,
I was confused by that, but I do remember reading that.
Also, I was confused about Sandy and Tony. I was like, is he flirting with Sandy? I'm like, because as far as I know, she's dating Chris Kostock.
I know it's so mean, but I keep forgetting Sandy. I'm like, who is that blonde? I haven't seen her enough yet, I guess. And I know she's been on like a good amount, but I'm like, I guess because of the clips, like some of them are really blurry and some
Uh-huh.
aren't, and I can't tell faces.
Right,
So I keep kind of forgetting who she is.
right.
And I thought she was somebody else. I put lady or whatever, talking to lady. And then later on, when I find out it's her, I'm like, oh right, Sandy.
I think Tony's, like, mad that, Alex Marshall's on, like, the board of the hospital.
Yes.
Um,
Nobody wants them there.
no. Oh, we got to see Tom Horton, speaking of.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and I was
Tom seems all right with it. I guess Alex's like shenanigans aren't out. Like,
maybe
is
not
he good at
everybody's
like?
well, he's also the father of his granddaughter, so Jessica with
Oh,
Marie.
okay.
So maybe
So
he just
maybe
kinda
he's
accepts him because of that.
like, I don't know what Alex Marshall did, so I don't know like what evil things, or if maybe he does them soon. I don't know.
Yeah. But in that scene, Sandy called him grandpa, Tom. So, I
Yeah.
was like, "That'll remind Eric who she is."
Yeah.
Or confuse him
Yeah.
more. Have to whip out
And
his
then
book.
I'll forget in the next episode. So we should like so we're kind of like out of Bo and Hope. I mean, they're still there, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
aren't we like days,
Yeah.
whatever?
Well, now that we're, like, kind of, like, expanding, I'm like, "I'm gonna keep it Bow and Hope for '83, and what but once we get into '84, we'll just be classic days."
Oh, yeah, classic days.
Um, because 'cause we're leading into Hope's 18th birthday, which is a big thing.
I can tell. I mean, just in these two episodes, we're like 18th birthday, 18th birthday. Where are we having it? What are we doing?
Right. I
Yeah.
feel like at some point, Julie's like, "You want a disc jockey?" And I'm like, "What? We're not
Yeah,
having that."
yeah, Julie, I can't. She's very Julie. She's she's very. It's it's fun to see her this young because she is the same. You know, it's
Uh,
weird. So
I
I'm glad
almost
they
wonder
wrote
if
her
she was
like
like
this.
that in the '70s when she was supposed to be, like, the wild child.
Oh, she had to be. She had to be.
Maybe she was just, like, a stuck-up, spoiled rich girl.
You know, you just pointed that out, and I'm glad you did because that makes a lot of sense why she's acting like that with Hope. Because Hope, I will now call her Hope. No, because Hope was acting out like Julie used to,
Mhm,
and Julie is seeing this in her, and
mhm,
that is probably why Julie is very the way she is, protective of Hope, kind of like a don't go with, but like she's trying to like control Hope, I guess, to for her not to make stupid decisions that she did, which I'm glad you said that because I would have never got that realization what was happening. That's kind of cool. I like that.
um,
So she's being very motherly, very big sisterly, as she is both. That's cool. I like that.
I also now that we're at this point, I don't remember seeing Danny past this point, so I think he's gone now too. Danny Grant, the one that ran Shenanigans.
Oh, that ain't right.
Yeah,
They just
and
wrote him off.
yeah, I don't know if the actor left the show or if he does make appearances and I just can't remember and they just get
They
less
could
and
have
less.
they could have at least put him and Nikki together and then they rolled off.
Well, we never know who Nikki's with. First she was with Abe, then she was with him. So we don't know where Nikki's gone probably too. Because we're going into '84 and Renee Jones goes to Santa Barbara. So
Oh, she's in Santa Barbara. I didn't know that.
yeah, I don't know for how long, but she's in pretty
She
early on.
Renee Jones is in a lot of shit. Did you realize how much shit she's in? Like at
The only
least
other
shit
thing
that I
besides
watch.
Santa Barbara that I've seen her in is one of the Friday the 13th.
Yes, Friday the 13th. Oh God, I couldn't tell you what part. Maybe
7?
four. Was it seven? No, it wasn't seven.
It wasn't
That was it.
this telekinesis one?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Now I'm confused. Maybe she is. I don't know. But she's in a show called Jessie with Lindsay Wagner, who was my Bionic Woman that I watched. She was in a show called the Brady Bunch Brides, the Brady Brides, which was a
Oh, she
spinoff of the
was?
Brady Bunch.
I love that.
Yes, she
I
was in that. Oh yeah,
remember
she was in
watching
it.
that on
Yes,
Nick at Night, and I loved it.
yeah. I'm sure it's on YouTube. And then she was in something else, and I can't remember what. But I just remember her popping up everywhere. I think I texted you a picture of her recently of something I was watching that she popped up in.
I feel like she would have been on, like, Facts of Life or something also,
She probably was. She was all
or
around.
like The Cosby Show or something, like a sitcom.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Hmm.
But yeah, she just pops up in a lot of stuff.
I'll have to
And
look at her
Celeste,
filmography and see if I like recognize anything.
Celeste pops up in a lot of stuff from the past. She was in like What's Happening and a
Oh,
bunch of other
really?
shows. Good Times. She was
Tanya
in, yeah.
Boyd?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah, Tanya Boyd's in a lot of stuff
I didn't know that.
that I watch anyway. But
Well, between the two of us, we watch a lot of old shit.
right. I guess
Back
getting
to
back on
these.
track to days.
The Shenanigans is under construction.
Yep.
Chris Kosachek now owns it. We didn't even bring this up. Maggie and Dawn are apparently back from vacation, and she looks bronze, like she was on a beach.
So when did they get together? Because wasn't she with Mickey in the other clips that we saw?
She was, but I think the whole
Okay.
secret of remember Hope and Melissa were in the stables and they heard um Gwen Davies and Mickey talking about him faking a tape or pictures of Don sleeping with somebody.
Right, right.
I think that came out or Melissa told Maggie and she broke things off with Mickey.
Uh, okay.
And because she was with Don, so that was supposed to break them up so that Mickey could get her back. So I guess Mickey was a little bit
Uh,
conniving back then.
yeah, it's funny. Like when I see, because starting in the 90s, we always see Mickey and Maggie were like the stand-up couple who were like
Yeah.
the back the back burner storyline basically for years.
Never even a storyline. They were just like at holidays or at dinner.
Yeah,
Maggie started like being a hostess at restaurants. Like,
right, right, right. Yeah, it's so funny.
I feel like they didn't
Um,
actually start to have story again until like Bonnie Lockhart came around and Maggie was murdered and like
right.
Bonnie got with Mickey.
Uh-huh. That was fun stuff. But yeah, like
Yeah, so they came back, I'm
it,
assuming from Hawaii because Maggie had a lay on her.
right.
And we saw Pete. He still hasn't spoken words, but we saw Pete lurking outside spying on Melissa.
I wasn't sure that was him, but then I pretty much figured it was
Hmm.
because I knew Melissa's getting kidnapped soon. That's the only reason. And I'm like, okay. So he does stand out there for a good amount of time because he was out there for like the whole episode.
Yeah.
And then like and at the end he was just there and I'm like,
Yeah,
was he just
Melissa was like
listening?
there studying with a guy from school, and she like leaves with him, and like we still see Pete in the bushes, like lurking, looking at her.
But what's he doing out there? Is he just like waiting around? Like, is he planning on something, or like, is he planning just to kidnap her, or is he just
I
like
don't know if he's
listening?
planning on like casing the house to like rob them, or if
Mm,
I don't know if he's planning to kidnap Melissa, or I don't know if that's an accident, like a happy accident that he ends up like kidnapping her.
right. That's a lot of work just to
Right.
stand out there and wait.
I don't remember how the kidnapping happens. I just remember them being in the kidnapping. Like he takes her to like a cabin or something.
Okay. Now, how long ago was it then you watched this? Like years?
um, Probably in the last 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah,
But see, that's what happens with soap opera people. Like we watch so many soaps that
and a lot of them
we
do
can't
similar stories. We don't know who did what.
right. We don't know who did what. We don't know when we watch things. Like I've seen, like, and you forget until you're watching things. Like
Right.
I forget. I like if you mentioned Dynasty, I remember certain things, and I'm like, I don't remember exactly when they happen. I forget what leads up. Like like I forget everything,
Hmm.
and it's just funny that like yeah, you can only seen it 5 years ago, but it's almost like watching it again like is new to you because you forget because so
Right.
many things happen and everything. Like it's crazy.
We it was weird for me to see like Maggie and Don kissing.
Me too.
'Cause I'm like, that's
I
Marlena's Don. Stop kissing him.
and I'm like Maggie and Mickey. What's happening? Like I only know Maggie and Mickey. I don't know
Well,
so
that
many
and
people.
also like Marlena's supposed to be your best friend and you're with her ex-husband. Like this Like, I know soaps do that, but this feels like too early on for that to be happening.
Or maybe that's why they're not friends right now. They don't cross paths anymore because of that. Which would be kind of funny because it's true to life, you know. And Maggie did marry Victor, who's an asshole. Like, there's many reasons not to be friends with Maggie.
I wonder when Maggie's alcoholism story started.
In the 70s, right? I
Oh, in
think
the
I heard.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I've watched
I
most of
read
the '90s, and I don't remember her like having an issue with it. Like she was already an alcoholic and recovered.
she was
So like I
right.
didn't know like when it happened.
She was a drunk since day one. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
No,
I
wasn't
know
she
it's
like
in
a
my
cripple? And he got her like her dancing shoes, her red shoes or something like that.
right, and that's the thing. Like, I read that stuff in my Days book. It covers all that. So
Hmm.
like, and when you're seeing like the stuff that we're watching now, I'm like, what happened to Mickey and Maggie's love story? And then like everything I saw in like currently, they'd have flashbacks of when they were in love in the 70s and all that. So I guess that was before Don and
Also,
she got
I
married.
know I just said cripple. I don't know if that's politically correct. So if anybody's disabled and in a wheelchair, I did not mean to offend you.
Yeah, right.
I was just going off the
Well,
storyline.
I think she was crippled though, right? I
I
think she
didn't
was.
watch it. I know that it was a big storyline that she got her dancing shoes.
Yeah, yeah. But
Um, so yeah, that was
yeah.
pretty much
So
it with Dawn and Maggie. But
yeah, Marie
I know
was
that
in
you
it,
like
but
seeing Maggie, so I figured that was exciting for you.
I do, I do, I like Maggie. I like all the current characters. Anybody that are on from when we're watching into current, I like to see. It's cool.
Mhm. So
Um,
I will say I was slightly more intrigued with Anna in this. When she made the phone call to the hooker that apparently Alex Marshall's sleeping with,
yeah.
um, and she got on the phone with Alex, and she played a tape
Mhm.
of Alex having a conversation with what sounded like Stefano.
Yes, it was Stefano.
And I guess back then Stefano was like a drug lord, like he was like the head of like a cartel, like a drug cartel or something. So I don't really know what the tape was talking about, but I was like, that's Stefano's voice.
It was.
That was cool. Um,
Yes.
and so it was that intrigued me because she kind of was like holding that over his head, and she's like, "Meet me tomorrow." She was like, "I have more if you want to hear."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Okay, I think I like this."
Yeah, it was fun.
Because every
Yeah,
time I
Anna's
see
very
Anna with Alex Marshall, she always seems like she's cowering, almost like he's like abusive to her mentally, physically, or he's always holding something over her, and I don't know why.
right.
Which is why I get frustrated with Anna because I don't like that she keeps putting herself in these circles with these men that like torture her.
Yeah, I guess. But Anna is very similar too, like the way they write her now. I thought she wasn't, but like the way they're writing her back then, I feel the same, it's the same kind of stuff. She always gets herself into some situations. Like
Yeah.
I like what I'm seeing. I don't know what's happening, but
I like what I'm seeing. I don't know what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing it.
I I don't like a lot of times like when I'm taking notes, I'm writing everybody that I see, and I'm like, but I don't know what's happening. So I'm just like, wait, this, and I'm like, I don't even know. My notes are a mess. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening.
So Hope is having lunch with Alice and Julie
Oh,
at the Sailorman. That's how how I found out it was the Sailorman. Because Hope wants a
nice.
burger, but they don't have it on the menu.
Uh,
Julie wants to have her 18th birthday party at Doug's place because apparently it's the classiest place in town. But Hope doesn't want to have it there. She wants to have it at Shenanigans because that's where her and her friends hang out.
right.
Um,
And Bo's in the basement.
and Julie even says that she's like, "Isn't that more of like a hangout?" And
Yeah,
Hope's like, "Yeah, that's where me and my friends hang out."
yeah, right.
Apparently, Hope is coming into some sort of inheritance from her mother when she turns 18.
Mm.
So she thinks she's gonna be this rich bitch and she's gonna run her life and just like do whatever she wants.
Yeah, sounds good.
Um, Bo and Chris Koscheck, because I always have to say
Yes.
his full name because it's fun. um, are discussing Hope, and Chris is basically like, warning him, like, she's young and like her parents don't like you. And Hope Bo's like, yeah, I know all this. He's like, I got to keep my distance. He's like, it's just hard. He's like, I got to figure this out.
Hmm.
Hope gets it in her mind that she's going to invite Bo to be her escort at her birthday party.
Hmm.
And she just keeps throwing out, I'm going to be 18, 18, 18. Like, so you can do what you want with me.
Yeah, right.
um, she comes to Shenanigans that's under construction to invite him, and he gives her like his coffee so she can have a few sips. And it's
Right.
the first time in my memory that I've seen her cock her eyebrow. I was like, there it is, her infamous cocked eyebrow.
The eyebrow starts now.
I
Good
mean, I'm
acting
sure she's
choice.
done it, and this is just the first time I'm mentally like noting it
Right, right.
because that feels like more of like a Christian Alfonso thing than a Hope
Hmm.
thing.
It does. She brought it.
um, Oh, so Julie goes to Shenanigans to see the blueprint of what it's going to look like because apparently it should be finished by her birthday.
I know.
It won't
I don't know.
be.
I know, we're in December, right? I think.
No, we're
Are
still in
we? We're,
November. We're still in November.
oh, okay. Oh, so there's a
Um,
lot of stuff. Do we have all these episodes?
most, yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I'm thinking it's like near Christmas, so I didn't know where we were.
So Julie comes to Shenanigans to see the blueprint of what it's going to look like. So I guess she can start planning the party or whatever.
Right.
And she sees Bo, and she's like immediately like shifts into like bitch mode, and is just like, "We'll come back another time." And Hope, I guess, tries to like be a mediator, and Bo's like, no, we don't want to make any ruffles. And this is Hope showing maturity because she kind of just goes with it, what Bo's saying, cocks her
Yeah.
eyebrow, and then they leave.
Yeah.
And then she says, Julie, you're being a witch. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, Julie is being a witch a lot of times, but now I understand her.
And then they have like this moment where Julie's like, we missed out on a lot of your formidable years because you were away. And she's she's like, we just don't want to miss out on anything else. And Hope's like, well, she's like, now we can, make memories now because I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Doug and Julie are leaving in like 3 or 4 months. So
Oh.
yeah.
And they returned from a cruise in 1990. Cruising the world. What a dream
um,
life.
so the police station gets another message from the killer that says that it's
Mm,
happening tonight within the hour, which I couldn't read on the screen because it was very fuzzy, but they said
me
that's what
neither.
it said.
Thank God. I love when they treat the audience like they're stupid because sometimes I need to be treated that way. Please read it to me.
Right. So Marlena is like walking around town with Sandy, and she says she has a bodyguard, but we don't see the bodyguard. This is like the worst bodyguard ever.
Or the best. He's so stealthy, you don't see him. He could be right in front of our face.
Um, we we actually finally get to see like a scene with the killer. Like we got to see a machete.
Yeah.
We've never gotten to see a weapon before.
I know.
And it
I'm
looks
a
like he
little
was like
creeped
rubbing
out.
it against a plant leaf, and I'm like, is that like aloe? Like, what is like? Is that supposed to be scary that he's rubbing it against the leaf?
Right.
I'm like, is that like polishing the blade? Like, I don't understand. But we also see a pile of photos, I guess, of victims that he's killed already.
Yeah. We could not see those photos. They were very fuzzy.
They were black and
Unlike
white and fuzzy. So,
black and white and fuzzy. Nope, I have no idea.
um, but as the gloved killer, walks away with the machete, they also take a feather because apparently they leave a feather at every site.
Yep.
We don't see the killer's face. But later we see Sandy and Marlena um, going to this woman's house. I don't know who she is. Her doors are like half open, so they just walk in, and
Mhm.
Roman comes out of the closet and attacks the woman
Yeah. What the hell?
because he's the killer.
So I rewound it like 5 times because I was like, I wasn't sure if it was Roman, and they're like, Roman, and I was like, wait, what? I don't know. I'm speechless.
Were you not
And
alarmed until she screamed Roman, and you're like, "Wait, I gotta rewind it because I didn't see Roman."
yeah, I didn't, and then like I guess I couldn't. It flashed like so quick, like
Yeah,
Roman, like or was it Roman? Like was it? I don't know
right.
because why would he do that? Like
Hmm. Did you actually watch the closing credits?
uh no,
Oh, because
did you
they
want
do
to?
next on another world, and they do like this really quick description, and I just get a kick out of it. Like, what's gonna happen?
Oh, yeah, I heard it as I was like looking for the thing, but since it was the other episode, I was like trying to turn it off. So I heard next on Another World, Jamie said something.
Yeah,
So, but I was like in the process of turning it off.
right.
But now I will stay tuned for every credit.
You don't have to. I just thought it was funny. Sometimes they'll be like, "Tonight, the soap opera awards," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
But this Alex Marshall, I'm very intrigued by him because I see he is very charming. Like whatever he's if he's bad, he's good at being bad because like I don't see it any signs of it.
Well, did you watch 80s YNR at all? Or
I
early
did, yeah.
90s? Because he was on YNR after Days, and he was with Catherine.
Did I see? I saw like random episodes from like I want to say 83 to like 86.
Oh, I think he was on later, like late
Okay.
80s. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get there yet.
Yeah, that's where he goes. But I think he was on like I think he was on other soap operas like Search for Tomorrow or something like that.
Well, Julie, I guess when she leaves, she goes to Young and the Restless too because she's Lauren's mom, unless she was already
Oh,
on there. But
maybe after.
I remember her being in like 84 and 85 episodes of with Lauren.
Yeah, because I think she was on consistently from like 66 or 67 to the end to 84.
Who?
And she didn't come back till the Cruise of Deception.
Julie?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Well, before the Cruise of Deception, because she's actually on the cruise.
Yeah, because I knew she's on YNR for a bit. I saw her in like a bunch of episodes, so I guess they did a lot with her on there. Because
I
Lauren was
remember
young then.
hearing that she played Lauren's mom, and stupid me, I was like, I thought in real life she was Tracy Bregman's mom. I was like, what?
That would be cool, and that would be like soap opera royalty.
Right. Which is funny because Tracy Bregman is actually was on Days, and she was Don Craig. She played Don Craig's daughter.
Yeah, for like a year, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, in the 70s. I think that would have been her first acting gig.
yeah. But she doesn't look like, I don't know, maybe because she didn't have the '80s hair, or I don't know. Like you can
Right.
hear that it's her, but I'm like, that's not Tracy. Like what?
So I wonder what happened with we didn't see Liz, which is that whole thing leading up to Liz's escape or whatever.
Well, so last we watched, Neil said that she was getting out in 14 days. So she's still in there. We just didn't see her in these episodes.
Alright, so they just weren't in these episodes.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah, I
we
guess I
saw
don't.
an important scene. We saw a scene that you read that Marlena and Sandy saw Roman attack a woman.
Right. Yeah, I do remember reading it. And then since I read it like a while ago, I was like, I'm like, oh, okay, this. So yeah, like that book is very, I don't know, very short. Like it's just like it's very, very brief of everything that's happening. Like
Yeah.
brief descriptions.
Yeah, it's an important episode because
Oh,
it
hey,
reveals, so to speak, who the killer is.
oh, so we got to see Gene, and he got a taxi cab, which I
That's
thought
the
was
thing.
funny.
That's the thing. That's like his company. It's a
I
thing.
figured it was a thing because they're making a big deal of it, and I'm like, is this leading to like Calliope, or does she come like way later?
She doesn't come on for like 6 more months.
Uh,
Yeah,
I gotta
but
look it up.
it's a thing.
Oh, and did you notice Ty? Alex talked to that guy Ty.
Ty.
He he's from Dallas.
Who's Ty?
Alex, he was in the episode. Alex and Ty were talking. Brown-haired guy, handsome.
Where?
What do you mean where?
Like
They
what
were,
scene? Were they at the Salem
oh,
Inn,
it's,
the
I just have
hospital?
them
Where?
that Alex met with Ty and Anna comes over. That's all I have
Oh, was
written.
that,
So
yeah, that was at the Salem Inn.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he was at the Salem Inn.
I don't know who that
Um
is.
he's in Dallas. He was in a
No,
whole
I don't know.
season.
I don't know who Ty is. Like, I don't know
Oh,
who
in the show?
Desmond is.
Me neither. I was hoping you
So,
could help me out. Like
so either he's not important or he's done. Like his story already is over.
it's over. I have to look him up. I like that guy.
Who won Dallas was he?
He works for JR, of course, at one point. I want to say like the fourth or fifth season, I believe.
Oh, okay,
I think he gets involved with Lucy a little bit. I
okay.
can't remember exactly.
Hmm.
I have to look it up. Like I said, my like soap brains are everywhere.
Well, I think Lucy, and what was her husband's name? Chip,
Chip,
the
Mitch,
doctor that Afton's brother that she ends up marrying.
Mitch,
Mitch.
Mitch. Yeah.
Wait, Chip. I
I'm
think
like,
her,
Chip, who's
I think
Chip?
her and Mitch get married in season 4.
Yeah, so it must be before that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember. Cause
I liked I can't remember the character's name, and it's two different actors that played him, but it was Pam Pam's cousin, I think, that she brought to the barbecue where she fell and she had the miscarriage in the first season in
oh, the first
the
one.
miniseries, and he was like playing dumb with Lucy, and she's like, you do like girls, right?" And he was like, "Yeah," like she was trying to like figure out like because he was just giving her like one word answers.
Oh, Mickey,
Mick, yeah, maybe it's him.
Mickey
Mickey.
Trotter. That's Ray's cousin.
No, it was Pam's.
Mickey isn't related to Pam.
Well, it was Pam and it was Pam's cousin because it was in the first season.
Huh.
And then he's the one that's
Rewatch.
and then they recast him in the first episode of season 2 and he's like bringing her to see Valine in secret.
I
That's when they
don't
had the
remember.
other Gary, the two-parter,
Yeah. I knew that Gary.
but it's the same character but it's a different actor playing
Huh.
Pam's cousin, which I
Well,
wish they
my
would have
rewatch.
kept around. I watched the first 2 seasons of Dallas probably like 10 times because, like I said, I always have to start from the beginning and then
You'll never get anywhere if you have to keep starting from the beginning. There's 300 something episodes. You
Same
can't
thing with
watch it all
Melrose, hence why I've only seen season 7 once.
God. And it's I don't blame you there. That's terrible. Season seven's the worst.
But all right, we're going off the rails, so let's wrap this up.
Yeah,
But
wrap
yeah,
it
so we
up.
ended with the killer being revealed, and it looks like it's Roman, so stay tuned.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
All right, well, as always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps, and until next time, have a great night. Bye.
Bye.